Greetings, fellow Americans. My name is Mary Okorn Jimenez. I am a candidate for the President of the United States of America with the Free Energy Party. I am proud to represent the first political party in world history with a free energy platform. There are so very many problems that we are going to solve. With your help, the Free Energy Party is ushering in a bright new era that will end the dangers of nuclear radioactivity and will signal the end of pollution and a halt to conquest and war over oil. Why are many people afraid to move forward? What thought processes could be blocking people from joining and stopping what looks like a march over the edge of a cliff? What if the notion that we are all doomed is no different if you are a fundamentalist or if you are an atheist? Just say no to doom and gloom and pessimism and be the change and live the hope. What if the Machiavellian belief in the survival of the fittest is a horrible lie? Anyone can kill anyone, but that does not make it right. What if people are being lied to when they are told that there are too many people in the world? The majority of the world's surface is uninhabited. Overcrowding exists in cities because people have to plug into the power grid. New technology will allow people to live in the countryside and in the mountains and even on the waters. People are being packed like sardines in a can into the cities. While the value of fuel and oil is sky high, the value of people is run down to the dirt. With free energy, the cost of energy will be low, but the value of humans will be high, not the other way around. There is not a problem with too many people. The problem is that there is not enough free energy. Free energy will let us move into the vast open land. Let us take some of our unused oil rigs and drill for water in the deserts and turn them into gardens. Don't let the oil company, big pharma, big agri-death monopoly tell you we have a population problem. We have a free energy problem. Imagine how much easier it is to rip people off if you have popularized the notion that the people themselves are worthless and need to be wiped out. Daniel Nocera at MIT tells us that statistics show that when we educate poor females with the right answers, the birth rate goes down dramatically. Thomas Jefferson said, "You cannot have a democracy without an educated public." Most people actually want birth control, but are not taught natural, guilt-free, and healthy methods to accomplish it. Give free energy a chance and watch how many of your arguments are eliminated. According to the World Health Organization, more people die from unclean water than from war. Dirt-cheap charcoal water filters can avoid these deaths. It is time for us to fund the elimination of disease with as much enthusiasm as we fund bombs and drones. So many of our problems will vanish after the introduction of free energy. Daniel Nocera is a professor at MIT. He invented an artificial leaf that will make free hydrogen fuel from water. In his lectures, he shows how he can power the world with an Olympic-sized swimming pool full of water. He also tells us how the current system wastes so much water. He says we use 300 billion gallons of water in gasoline refining, and that the U.S. uses 70 trillion gallons of water for thermoelectric power generation. Free energy will eliminate so very many of our other problems. Recently, we have been hearing how whole populations of people are being evacuated for hydroelectric dams in the Amazon. These stories are compounded with the knowledge that flooding the rainforests for hydroelectric power will wipe out untold species and herbal cures. The rainforests hold 2/3 of the species of life on Earth and produce 1/4 of the world's fresh water and 1/2 of the world's fresh oxygen. You may say that the rainforests are not in our country, but they are the lungs of the Earth. The Free Energy Party proposes that the IMF and the World Bank trade the foreign debt of these lesser developed rainforest-bearing nations for the requirement that the rainforests be made into preserves. Again, the rainforests are the lungs of the Earth. This Free Energy Party plan to save the rainforests can be done under the heavily indebted Poor Countries Initiative and needs to be done soon. Much of the destruction of the rainforests has been caused by poor people who cannot afford the price of cooking fuel, so they cut trees for firewood. Current hydroelectric dams are antiquated and made unnecessary by modern non-invasive energy breakthroughs that do not destroy our environment. So many of our problems and our former arguments will vanish with the introduction of free energy. It is time to give up our pain and choose life, and life more abundant. Don't you think that working for just a little bit of heaven is better than surrendering to a whole lot of hell? What if? What if the world is ready for free energy? What if Dr. Joseph Zawodny, the senior research scientist at the NASA Langley Research Center, says that LENR is real and that it produces a clean, free, new kind of nuclear energy without radiation or pollution? What if this famous NASA senior research scientist said that a unit that could take the place of your water heater in your house can provide all of your power plus more? What if? What if MIT also has an ongoing free energy demonstration using water? What if Professor Peter Hagelstein calls this demonstrator Nanor and has monitored the invention producing 14 times more energy than it uses for many, many months? What if Peter Hagelstein and Mitchell Schwartz said that it is true that new water fusion process has the power to miraculously eliminate nuclear waste? What if, when asked, this same professor said that this free energy process can desalinate ocean water to bring water to dry farmland? How wonderful that rising seawater could generate free energy and be desalinated to turn barren land into gardens. What if Michael McCubre, a government contractor doing cold fusion experiments at SRI International, says that in a few years your car and your house could be completely off the grid? What if it was on 60 Minutes that DARPA has admitted that this technology for free energy is real? What if 60 Minutes also reported that the Pentagon is funding more research because they admit that this free energy is real? We can no longer ignore the elephant in the room, so I ask you, what if? What if you walked to your window one day in the near future and you looked out at your beautiful duck pond, which had a fountain and a waterfall, powered for free by your house from a device that replaced your water heater, which provides free power for any amount of heating or AC needs or lighting that you may have without an electric bill? What if this gave you extra money that you could spend on your children's quality of life? What if you looked out of your window soon one day and you saw your car, which did not have to be fueled because virtually fuel-free technology allows you now to drive anywhere you want to go without having to pay for fuel? What if you got to spend all this money that you saved on gifts for your friends and family and on education for the young and medicine for the elderly? Look more closely at the tires on this new car. They are different than they used to be. You do not have to air them up, and they cannot go flat. In the golden era of free energy, people have learned to care for themselves and for others, and manufacturers have learned to market world improvement technologies. What if you looked out of your window to your neighbor's house and you saw their children playing in their garden, breathing fresh air in unpolluted skies, safe from cancer-causing poisons? How amazing that the magnificent answer of Brown's gas and the nuclear fusion of water and nickel allowed all the nuclear power plants to be outfitted with radiation-free energy, and how glorious and unbelievable that this same technology transmuted and eradicated all the nuclear waste from the past. How overwhelming that after the introduction of free energy, war had become a thing of the past. How thrilling that human beings were now able to be humane beings. How exciting that the military had turned their powerful funding toward the stars and developed a friendly people's space program and the development of sustainable undersea villages, and so many other peaceful missions, including turning the deserts into beautiful gardens. Wonderful world improvement ventures other than war and conquest, which are now a thing of the past. What if you turned on the television and it was playing programs to teach the many natural cures for heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and arthritis that are now nearly a thing of the past, since the Free Energy Party helped to usher in a new brilliant road for man and womankind? The future is today. The Industrial Revolution was followed by the Information Age, which is now opening the doors into a shining and glorious future. The golden era of free energy. Welcome aboard.